Good evening, all. On behalf of everyone, I welcome Ms. Swati, who is working as a senior Dev consultant in CTS International Company, Bangalore, for the past 2 years. And before that, she was working as a Java developer in Sudex. So I welcome her. So she is here to guide you regarding the placement drives. So I hope everyone will utilize this session. So hand over the session to Swati. Yes, welcome, Swati.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah. Hello, juniors. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, actually, first of all, thank you for joining on Saturday. So I got time only on Saturday. So, I'm very happy to see that many of you have joined. So, thank you all for your time. And yeah, today I'm here to discuss about the end-to-end placement preparations, like starting from the resume writing till you go to your HR round, what all elements will be present and how you have to prepare for all that. So, how is your placement preparations going on? Anyone? Hello?
Yes, people, you can reply.
Okay. So, how far it is? What kind of technical skills you've started to learning, or like how it is going? I wanted to know, like, in what stage it is. Yeah. Anyone? You guys want me to continue in English or Tamil? Hello?
Anything that is comfortable for you.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll continue in English because I don't know how many of you will understand Tamil or how many of you don't know Tamil. So I will continue in English. Okay. So the first thing which we are going to discuss is about resume writing. So if you could see the PPT that ma'am is sharing, so these are the sections which recruiter expects you to have in your resume. So the first thing is the header, like the name, address, and the contact information. So address part, you need not give your complete home address or your residential address. Just that you have to tell from which state or from which city you are from. So I think that would do good. Next is the objective, as a student, all you will have is your objective will be about learning a new technology. Like since you are freshers, you'll not have much of expectations about the industry because you don't know how the industry is. So your objective should be in such a way that you are looking for a new you're looking for a learning environment kind of thing. You guys understood, right? Like it should not be so. If you google the, I know what people will do, like people will google the career objective and paste something. So that recruiter will easily find out what people have done. So it's better to actually write your own career objective, stating that you are a student and you're expecting for a learning environment, learning and which will grow your career. So that would do good. And next is the profile summary, like if at all you have done any um, internships or if you have much experience in any technology which is not taught in the college. Like, I don't know if Angular is being taught in your syllabus, but yes, say if something like that, you've done some projects or something, or internships you have taken, so all such things you can give it in the profile summary. Next is the academic references, which will go in the order of college, your PUC, and then your SSLC degree. So you have to give in that order the education part, and after that, you have to give your work experience. Say work experience is sometimes not relevant to the fresher, but there are people who have worked in companies, say like a part-time job or something. So from that, people would have got some experiences in some kind of technology. So that part you can mention in the work experience section. So next is technical skills. So this is one main important section where you have to list out all the technologies, whether it is related to programming languages or databases or any front end applications. So all these things you have to mention in the technical skills. Next is the relevant courses, which is like if you have done any certifications, like not just simple certifications, say some Java certified or AWS certified or Oracle certified, kind of some kind of big certifications if you have done, you can put that as a section. So next will be the projects. Like you have to mention at least 2 or 3 projects. Like it should not be 1 or 2 projects which you're doing for your semesters. Like for your sixth and seventh semester, you should actually do your own project. Like you have to mention what is the title of the project, and what the project is all about, the description of the project just in one line, not in many lines, and then what technology you used for that project. Say you have done some project using Java or Servlet, so you have to give the description, and then below that what technology you have used and why you have used that technology. So it should be just 2 lines, not more than 2 lines. I mean, it would be good if you have less content but which is more informative. So you can have the project sections. Next is honors, rewards, or activities. It is like, say you have got some hackathon you have won, or you've got some certificate, like some kind of recognition you have got, so that you can put in this section. And or if you have participated also in some big event, like say you've participated in some national level hackathon or some state level hackathon, or anything that you feel it is a big achievement for you, that also you can mention in this section. So the last one would be the personal information, which is more or less like optional, but people do mention hobbies, their, like from where they are, all these things they will mention in the personal information section. But yes, it is not like mandatorily expected by the recruiter. Like, but whatever I said about all those are expected by the recruiter. So these things are needed for the resume. And then your resume should be it should be neat and clean. You should not. There are few things that you should avoid while writing a resume. So one is like you should not do it in a passive voice, like done by me, we have done this, something like this. You should not do. And then you should not write big paragraphs also. And then say you're mentioning your college name is SKCT, no one will know what SKCT is. So you should avoid all these abbreviations and acronyms. You should mention Sri Krishna College of Technology. So any kind of abbreviation and acronyms, including if it is related to any technology also, you should give the full form, not the short form. Maybe if you want to give the short form, you can give it in brackets, but it's not that everybody will understand, right? So you have to give in that way. And next is like it should not be so colorful. Like black color is fine, black and using bold and italics is totally fine. So as far as it looks clean, it's fine. And next is like, yeah, multi-page resume. Like you should not go like pages to pages. You can tell you've done multiple projects and it will take multiple pages. You just have to write in such a way that it is accommodated within maximum 2 pages, not more than 2 pages. So anyone has any clarification regarding this section, resume writing section? Yes, I think it's better to speak than to ping in the chat.
Yeah,
Okay.
like what kind of project that is on which language based the project should be so that it will reach the best company. Does it mean that we have to do in a particular language? Like if I'm an IT student, I have to concentrate on IoT based.
Okay. So, project means see, you have see there are so many emerging technologies. It's not just about IoT. There are so many emerging technologies now. Okay. So whichever there is some limit that people expect from the fresher. They don't expect big projects from the fresher. So they expect a minimal amount, at least like they are interested in this technology. There is nothing like specific technology, I would say. Say, as you said, you can take IoT. Say, if you have done some project in IoT, then you can mention that project in your resume. Or say, if you have done something in the big data, you can mention that in the resume. There's nothing like this company is using this specific technology. So there's nothing like that. People will get impressed if at all, if a fresher is doing some project in the emerging technology. That is a point of impression, I would say. So
Yeah,
any
okay.
technology is fine, any language is fine, provided it's a high level language. Like,
Yeah,
don't go for C, C++ and all. Go Java, Python, something more than Java.
yeah, okay.
Okay. So any technology is fine. Yeah. Hi. Uh, somebody spoke something. Okay. So any other questions? Yes, I can also suggest at the end, I will suggest what kind of projects you can do to get prepared for the placement. It's not like something that you can put in your resume, but something which will give knowledge to you so that you can answer questions in the technical interviews. So that maybe at the later section we can discuss.
Yes.
But any other questions regarding the resume writing? Yeah, please don't use color fonts and all in the resume. It's fine, it should be more simple, more neat. Like, I know you guys would have googled so much for the template, and because even we have done the same things, but later on, after coming to the industry, we got to know it's all about the skill that is present in the resume. It's not the like what so many projects. And one more main thing is, whatever you have written in your resume, only based on that they are going to ask questions. So please make sure that you don't write anything that you don't know. So please don't exaggerate something and tell. Whatever you know, you write. But if at all you've added some additional word, but you don't know what it means, I will tell you. They will ask question on that to you. That time you may not know what it is. So what will happen? You will get tense that time. So whatever you know, also later questions, you may not be able to answer it properly. This has happened to many people. So, like, make sure that whatever you know only you're writing in your resume, and whatever you write in your resume has some like, it should have some quality. Like, whatever project you've done, it should have some quality. You should not simply tell, like, I've done this Java program. No, they expect a Java project, not a program, not a single program. So there should be some level of quality also. So in such a way that you should be grooming. Your resume is not about just writing in the word. It's about grooming yourself and then writing your resume. So hope this section is clear, right? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So okay. Let's go to the next section.
Just a minute, there is some problem in sharing. I'll share it again.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, is it visible now?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So the next section would be the aptitude test. So the first step that you do, that you're going to do when it comes to placement is they'll keep the first round as aptitude test. So why do they keep aptitude test? Like how it is relevant to the programming thing and all. Uh, so see, you are not just some 50 or 60 people. They're going to recruit entire company, entire college, right? It is like they have to judge each and every student. So it is like a mass judgment. They cannot just give a programming language to everybody and then ask them to write, and it's not easy to judge anybody. So like they have to, at certain point they have to eliminate some students. So that is the first step that they take is aptitude test. So how aptitude is related? Yes, English is, I don't know. Verbal reasoning is somewhat related. I won't tell how 50% related, but whatever quants and logical reasoning that you have, you will definitely some or the other day you will implement in your career. So it is like just a starting point that you're going to tell that yeah, I'm logically fit. I know I have a logical thinking. So once whatever you give in your company, I will be able to do it with my logical thinking. So like to test someone's logical thinking, this is the first step I would say, aptitude test. So what usually they ask in the aptitude test, at least during my batch and my juniors batch, the next immediate junior batch is quants and data interpretation like graphs and charts they will give, and they will ask some set of questions and you have to answer those questions seeing the chart. And then verbal abilities like all your grammar skills and all. And next will be the logical reasoning like some puzzles or syllogisms like like you I know you would have seen syllogisms and all. Like some example we would say is like mm, like all animals have four legs, and lion has four legs, and lion is an animal. Something like this you would have seen, right? Related to syllogisms, or they will give you syllogisms for the questions. So you will get these questions in the aptitude test. Mostly the aptitude test revolves around these four topics only, of which this quants is like kind of important. Like it will have, I just mentioned the examples in the PPT, but there are many other topics also. And also, I would say every day you have to get in touch with the quants and logical reasoning till you go to your first round. Because if it is like you have learned the formula and then you have learned all the topics and you have covered, next that you are going to technical. At the time of aptitude test, you may not remember few things. So it's better to spend 1 hour at least every day for the quants, because that is the first round which will take you to the actual round. I would say this aptitude test is like not a kind of actual round. It is just to judge the students. Like they cannot like judge all the 500 people with one-on-one technical round. So they should know which student has some logical thinking. So that's why they're keeping aptitude test. And also like it's not just IT or CSE is attending a IT company. Even EC, MEC is also attending IT companies, right? So how will they, like they cannot attend some big programs at first round only. So that's why people give aptitude test. So and also I would say, let us say for aptitude test the minimum pass percentage is 85%. If 500 people take 85%, all the 500 people take 85%, then they are ready to take them to the next step. No company will say I need only 50% for the 50 or 60 people for the next round. So it there is no such restriction, but they know this is like if you take the stats, right, most like some 100 people will fall under above 85%, and some 200 people will fall above 50%. So what they will do, they'll see the stats and they'll tell, okay, the next round let the 100% go, whomever has got above 85% let them come to the next round. So this is how they do. So this is the only way for them to reject some of the candidates. So now that if all of you take 85% plus, then yes, all of them will be eligible for the next round. So there is no such number thing in the recruitment. Like how much ever people come, they are going to recruit. As far as they are completely satisfied with the like student students' performance. So this is the first test. I would say please prepare for this test because most of the companies will have aptitude test, all these number related things and all in the first round. Only see now that you will think I have not prepared data structures, I have not prepared Java, all these things will be in your mind. But see, you have to be prepared for aptitude so that you will go for the next round. So it's always good to go step by step. So yeah, like don't just leave this aptitude test. So please concentrate on this so that it will take you to the actual round. So any doubts in aptitude test related thing? Because every time, right? I would say when we were in final year, this was the pattern that we got, like all the quants and logical reasoning. Now there can be some other pattern also which you can actually check in on online, like what recruitment change these companies have done, like what in their plan, what they have changed, what changes they have. Do they even ask programming also in the first round? So these things you can actually gather knowledge. But as far as our college, I think aptitude test is the first round. So yeah, please do prepare for the aptitude test. Yeah, you can refer RS Agarwal book. So that has all the topics, at least I won't say all the kind of questions, at least it covers majority of the like samples, I would say. And yeah, Shakuntala Devi book is also fine. Even that is good for quants. And then yes, you have to take online aptitude test every day. After you learn for 1 hour, you please take an aptitude test and please don't copy. It is not for someone else. It is for you, right? So yeah, please take efforts on this. And any doubts in this section?
What data interpretation actually mean?
Okay, data interpretation mean they will give you graph. You know graphs, charts, and pie charts and all, right?
Yes, yes.
So they will give you a pie chart. Say, let's say an example, they are giving you a pie chart, and they would have already marked all the data in that pie chart. Say 50%. Just for example, I'm telling. Say 50% are uh, fully vaccinated and not affected by COVID. 20% are fully vaccinated and affected by COVID. Next is like some 40% are like single 40% have taken single dose vaccination and not and they have not got any COVID. They have not suspected any COVID cases. So let us say we have such a pie chart. Okay, now that based on the pie chart, below they will ask questions like if the trend goes like this, what do you expect in 2022? Like how much percent would be affected by COVID? So it is like I'm just telling for an example. It's just for an example I'm telling. But this is how they ask. They give a chart and then below they ask some questions. You have to see the chart, do some calculations or do some interpretation, like, and then you have to answer the question. So it will be like that. Fine, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So any other question?
No, no, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Then we can go to the next slide. Ma'am,
Yes, Swati.
yeah, ma'am, can we go to the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
one? Yeah, yeah. Next will be the coding round. So it will be an online coding round. So most of the product-based companies, it will have online coding round. Like only for the service companies, I think even now service companies also started coding rounds for as one of the rounds. So all the product-based companies, I would say, they will have coding round, online coding round. Like they'll give you credentials and like they'll give you some 1 hour time. You have to solve 3 to 4 questions. They will have the output console also. There they will tell the expected output also. They'll give you a question. They'll say what is their input and what is their expected output. You have to understand everything and then you have to start coding. So that's such a way that online compiler will run your code and give the result. So if you have seen in the Geeks for Geeks or any lead code related website, so that's how it does. So also this Geek Earth and all is there. So yeah, I think mostly in such websites only they'll create login and give you questions. So this is how your coding round will take place. So for the coding round, they will not ask you so complicated questions. That is the first thing that you need to understand, because they know how to ask for a fresher. Like if you go as a 3 year experience or 5 year experience, your question level will be different. But since you are a fresher, mostly they will expect you to understand the concepts of strings and arrays. So that you should know end to end. Everything about string you should know. Like I'm sure at least some 80% of product companies will have at least 2 questions of string in their first round of coding test, because my previous company used to give like that. So like what concepts to cover in string? Everything about string, like all reversing string, like what is the duplicate element in the string, and all the string kind of questions, like palindrome, these kind of tags you are like terminology related things, like palindrome or the, mm, what you say, mirror string. So these kind of questions end to end about string you should know. Like tomorrow if they give any other questions related to string, then you should be able to make up your coding with your previous experiences. So unless you experience it, you will not be able to answer in the online coding test. You guys understood, right? You have to work out as much as string programs as possible, such that even if they don't ask the same question in the online coding round tomorrow, you should be at least able to make up the answer. Like you will be able to take some route with the existing ideas. So that logical thinking only they expect in the coding round. And yes, coding round, it is not like simply they will give you uh, like pass percent. It is like it's totally online and it is going to run, the compiler is also going to run online and that is going to give you the result. So as soon as you code only you will get to know what is your result, right? And later they will tell, yes, who and all has passed, or say if someone has done one program fully but other program they have done half only, so that time only one and half. So it's up to the recruiter to think like whether they can pass this person to the next round. It's all up to the recruiter. But as far as from the student side is concerned, it is an online compiler that is going to give you the result. You should make sure that the result is coming in the console. So that's how you have to code. So mostly strings and arrays are like really really important. Array also include matrices. Like matrices are implemented with arrays only, right? So even those things are very important. And related to the data structures, yes, people do ask data structures in the first round, but it will not be so complicated, I say. uh, First of all, to learn all the concepts, to cover all the concepts in data structure, you should be master in basic implementation. So without knowing basic implementation, you cannot go to next questions. And to learn the basic implementation, right, you have to first understand and learn. It's not just about where to declare the node class or where to declare this array. So what I'm telling is you cannot mug up the code for the data structure. You should understand what is present, which is present, why it is present in this place, so that the complete implementation is in your hand. And later on, like a general implementation of linked list, implement a linked list or implement a tree. This general implementation you should know, such that tomorrow if any tree related question if they give, you will be able to at least make a basic structure and then code the logic from there. So they are not going to give, they'll not give you in the further rounds, they'll not give you a direct tree question or direct graph question. I know you would have seen in your syllabus also, like they'll give India map. One person is traveling from Bangalore to Hyderabad or Hyderabad to Pune. What is the distance covered? Some kind of questions will come. But these we should understand that it is a graph related question or this is a tree related question. So to know all that, basic implementation, knowing the basic implementation is a must. So you should know how to implement the data structures and then 100% string and array you should learn. This will be the first round questions as far as we know. But yes, you can also check with our professors like what kind of questions they have asked for your senior batch, like immediate senior batch. Because when we did, it was like 4 years ago. So you can even ask that. And what language is preferred from your perception, which is best, C or Java? I think Java only people will ask you. Please don't go for C. Go for Java or any other high level language. I always prefer high level language if I am going and sitting in a coding round. So yeah, please prefer high level languages. And any other questions related to first round? Yes, coding round. You will not be able to crack unless you do Geeks for Geeks or Lead Code related programs. So yeah, please get prepared for these two rounds, aptitude and coding, so that it will take you to the interviewer. These two are the rounds which are going to take you to the interviewer first. So after this round, everything will be like face to face only. So till this round, you should be knowing how to do. And the string and array, if you learn for coding round, online coding round, it will help you for the next round also. Even there are chances that that recruiter will ask you string and array related program. So it is like you please think you're moving from one hurdle to next hurdle, one hurdle to next hurdle, so that you reach your destination. So please prepare in such a way that you are prepared for each and every round. Don't go anything randomly. Like suddenly you think of placement, suddenly you get motivated and yeah, today I have to learn somehow learn data structures and all. Don't think like that and then suddenly take data structures and all. So are you like really prepared for aptitude? Then you go for data structures. So every day you have to spend one hour on each of the topics. That is very, very important. Like it's so easy since we are learning so many things at the last minute, it will be so easy for us to not remember anything at the time we need. So every day you have to spend 1 hour for aptitude, 1 hour at least minimum. And I heard like you guys are getting companies by December end. So this 1 hour is not enough actually. You have to spend at least 2-3 hours, more than 2-3 hours at least. So every day you should keep in touch for all these rounds so that it will be easy for you to crack a product based company. But if at all you're learning in a sequential manner, then yes, definitely I know you all can crack a service company. But I would say there is no difference between a product company and a service company. Like don't think that getting placed in a product company is a big thing than getting placed in a service company. Actually getting placed itself is a big thing. And once you come to the industry you will know the differences of a product and a service company. So product company will have its own product and it will work on its product. Like you say Apple has its own product, so it's working on its own product. So if you say, if you take any service company, they provide uh, what you say, they provide services to other companies. Like if they want any kind of service, uh, like if you want some set of developers and testers, say there is a company A and there is company B and B is a service company, then company A has some product which don't have bandwidth, so that it expects company B to perform some task and give it to company A. So these kind of things service company will do. So both are like equally good, I would say. And if you're going to a service company also, tomorrow if you want to switch to a product company, it is possible. You can go to a service company, do your job, get exposure there, get prepared there, and then you can jump to a product company. It is actually easy, and many have jumped in my batch also. So don't ever think like, and don't get disheartened if you don't get placed in a product company and then a service company comes. You will lose that also. You have to be concentrated on a service company. So Why I'm telling is coding round mostly product companies only will give, but I don't know like how the this year trend will be. So it's better to prepare for a product company so that even if you don't reach a product company, you will at least end up in a service company. And I'm sure like ma'am has told the feedback about everybody, so I'm sure that you guys will have minimum one offer. So yeah,
Like which language is preferable, C or Java, from your perception?
I will prefer Java. So as I said, any high level language only you should use in your coding language, because see, when we had coding test, right, C is acceptable. But now that after 4 years, that trend is totally changed. People expect the fresher to know any high level languages only. So Java or Python or any such high level language you can use. And also
Yeah.
I think in coding round, yeah, you will have option to select C or Java, yes. But yes, Java is the most preferred one. Please don't go for C, all of you don't go for C. I mean, it's not
Okay.
nothing wrong in going for C. Also, I would tell you one thing. Say in Java you didn't know to code, like you didn't know to create classes or something, but in C you are getting a right output. Please go for C. It's good that you're going for C in that case. If you know equally, like C also you know to code and Java also you know to code, then go for Java, because time management is more important in this coding test. So why I'm telling, one second. Yeah. So why I'm asking you to go for a C when you know the answer properly in C is that you can at least tell in the next round that whatever you know you have done it fully. It's not like you know something and then you're not doing it, and then you're trying something which you don't know. So that the technical interviewer will have a bad impression. You already know C, right? You already know to code this, right? Why you attempted this in Java and you did not get output? So there are chances that they will ask you this question. So if at all you're confident that you know this in C and definitely you will get output, then please go for C. Otherwise, yes, if you don't know in both, then yes, go for Java. Try in Java. At least they will think that you have given an attempt in a high level language. And if you know in Java, yes, it's good enough. So fine, right? Okay. So the next topic is group discussion. So group discussion, not every product companies gives a group discussion round actually. But yes, service company also gives group discussion. So this is like a common session about both service and product companies actually. So this group discussion round, right? You guys know about Payoda? There's a company called Payoda in Coimbatore. Hello? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Mm. Yeah, actually, you guys can speak than to ping. Why I'm telling is it's actually good to improve the communication skill with some unknown person. Like your technical recruiter will be an unknown person. So it's good to speak actually. It's a small thing, but it will make a change. So yeah. Okay. So you guys know about Payoda, right? So Payoda has come for a batch and they had a group discussion round. The group discussion round was with those who got selected. First round was also technical for me, and those who have got selected from SKCT, SKCET both. The group discussion was with both these institutions. So from my batch, that was the only company that had group discussion. But my junior batches, 2 3 year junior batches, they had group discussion for some 3 4 companies. All are like really good companies they got. So group discussion is a important round. And group discussion, how it will start is like you will have a HR from the company. They will tell you a topic and they'll give you some 5 to 10 minutes time to think about the topic. Whatever you know about the topic, you can just note down, or you can just have it in your mind, and then they'll tell like, yeah, you can initiate your session. So, like, it is not debate. First of all, you have to understand group discussion is not debate. Say, for example, they are giving you a topic. Is it good to go to schools and offices during this pandemic time, or is it not good? Not the school and offices. Say, let's take lockdown. Okay, is it good to have a lockdown during the pandemic time or not? What are the, if you say not, what are the disadvantages? Like, why this lockdown was advantage, why this lockdown was disadvantage? So say this, like this, she has asked a question. Okay, so first thing, it is not a debate. Say person one, let us assume person one is from SKCET. Okay, if person one says it is a disadvantage, lockdown is a disadvantage, many people have suffered, people have come, like people started walking on the roads because they don't have buses, all these things she would say. But you don't have to change your mind immediately. Say the same thing if you had in your mind, and assume all these are, I'm telling only for an example, you will get a different topic also. Okay, say you also had the same thing in your mind. If you also had the same thing in your mind, you need not change your mind suddenly and tell no, no, it is an advantage. Okay, so you speak whatever is there in your mind, because a debate is different from group discussion. Debate means there are two oppositions, one is opposing the resolution of other, so that is the debate. Group discussion means sharing your facts, thought process and ideas, that is group discussion. So this thing you guys have to understand, because many of them have done it like a debate and they have lost in the group discussion round. So it is more important to understand that you actually give your own facts, thoughts and process. So yeah, this is the main thing about group discussion. And yeah, just a second.
Ma'am, will we have technical questions in group discussions or only like common topics?
No, no. You will have only general questions. You will not have any technical related. But there are like 5% chances that you get technical. But I am sure whomever comes for our college, they are not going to ask technical in the GT, because I heard some colleges in Bangalore, they started asking questions in the group discussion like related to two technologies, which is better and all. They started asking. So why it is better and all, people started telling in the group discussion. So yeah, mostly it will be non-technical question only. It will be only one round. So you have to make sure that you have in the 10 minutes that they give initially, you do your thought process and you be clear on what side you are, and then don't change that side till the end. But yes, since you asked whether it is a technical, it's actually good to know the differences in whatever you learn. Like say you had C, right? Why you went for Java? What is the reason for going for Java? So there are chances that they ask, what is the scope of Java and Python developers in the, like, if at all you know Python. I'm just telling it for an example. Okay, why people prefer Java? Why people prefer Python? Okay, even though Python is better than Java, why companies still recruit Java developers? What is the need of Java there? So these things, these kind of questions are possible. So if at all you tell you know high level language, you should know about this language fully. I'm not, I'm just telling between Java and Python. There are chances that they'll ask questions inside Java only. Why do people go for collection framework when you already have a Java framework set? So there are chances, okay? It depends on the company. But 95% I can guarantee that it will be non-technical. It will be a general discussion only. So you guys need not worry about that. Just that whenever you prepared for your coding round, you please make sure that you gather sufficient information about what you're learning, so that even if they ask in the GD, it will be helpful for you. Fine, right? And yes, one more thing. I wanted to tell, if if they give some topic in the GD that you know already very well, and you know so many facts about that, then yes, don't hesitate to initiate the discussion, because the HR will tell a line that yeah, you can start the session. Then yes, you can initiate the discussion. You need not see others' faces and wait for others to respond. But if at all you don't know something, then wait for two people at least. This is just like a tip I am telling, so that you will start getting ideas more and more. So wait for two people so that they'll tell something. Then you can make a thought process like, yeah, this is correct, this is wrong. So which side I am? So you can decide that time, and then you can start after the third person. So even that will help. And also try to speak multiple times, not just at a single stretch you are talking everything. So like every time they give turns, you at least speak minimum 3 times at least. Depends on the number of people, yes. But yes, it's good to speak at least three or more than 3 times. So yeah, and don't worry if you don't know about the topic. You please be open to the HR that whenever your turn comes, you please tell. You have no much idea, but with the discussions happening around, I can see, I can infer this uh, according to me. Like this, you can tell. So don't ever shiver there if you don't know about the topic. If the topic is completely blank for you or something, please don't think that okay, this company is gone for me. I don't know. Don't think all that. At the end, you can tell a line that yeah, actually I don't have much on idea, but it's good that I have attended this GD and I got some information on this. And from the discussion, I can understand that this is better. Something like this, you can tell. So please make sure that you are confident in your GD round. So anything in the GD round thing, uh, you want me to ask for any questions? If not, we can go to the technical interview part. Okay, I assume no questions. Next is technical interview one. So companies can have one technical round or two technical round or even three technical rounds. If take Zoho, they'll have three. Amazon will have three or two rounds. So it depends on the number of people they are expecting. Like how, like initially I told they don't see the numbers, right? If you get 85%, but as and when it goes, if all the 500 people go to technical round three, then there are chances that they will have a technical round four. So it is like that. So only for aptitude, you have like some kind of like what to say, some percentage. But if at all, if it is technical, then they know to ask you more and more questions to filter out the students. So it depends totally on the company. Nothing from decided by the college or anybody. So the company will decide whether they should have one technical or two technical or three technical. So maximum I know three technical rounds are there. Zoho or Amazon or one more yeah, electronics related companies, there are product companies. So even that I forgot the name actually. So even the boss. So these people will have 2 to 3 technical rounds. So what is technical round? First of all, it is a face-to-face round. It is not a online round. Face-to-face round, such that the technical person from the company is going to ask you questions, all the technical questions, nothing related to aptitude or anything. So it will be on mostly for the freshers. It will be on programming languages. It will be on databases, and then it will be on the DSN algorithm, all data structures and algorithms. So for the freshers, they least expect only these topics to be covered in the technical round one. Unless you have mentioned something extra in your resume, they're going to ask you that questions in the technical round. Say you've mentioned Angular JS in your resume, or you've mentioned Node.js in your resume for some kind of project, they will definitely ask in technical interview one. So not just technical interview one, yes, all the other technical interviews also. So that's why I told you should make sure that whatever you know, you're going to write in your resume, not something extra. And your resume should not be something like it should be a high profile. It should not be like only Java, C, C++, nothing like that. It should be really good. Like they should feel that a fresher has made some effort to get into the industry. So your resume should be in such a way. So coming to this technical interview, right? Um, so programming language you should know. Preferably, I would say Java. Mostly, they are going to ask you in Java, or if at all you know Python, also it's fine. Provided the interviewer also should be knowing Python. It again depends on where they're going. There will be multiple panels, so it depends on where you go. So on seeing your resume, yes, if you know Python and if some panelist knows Python, they're going to send you to that person only. So programming language, I would say, what programming languages are there in the syllabus? C++ and C, C++ and Java, right? Other than that, do you have any other programming language? Do you have Python in the syllabus? Uh, yes, okay. So you have Python in the syllabus, yes. So definitely you can expect question in the Python. So yeah. So you should know the in and out of your programming language, like the basic concepts. Why this programming languages are like I don't expect something like this programming language was found in 1970. Not these kind of details by this person, not the person details also. Like it should be what is the purpose of this programming language? Why this is evolved? When you have C and C++, why Java? But then why they got Python? When you have HTML and CSS, why Angular JS? So these things you should be knowing. So if you're telling that you know a programming language, then you should know the root of the programming language. So that is more important, and that will be the basic question that the interviewer will ask. And also, if you take Java or Python or any language, you should know the OOP concept, object-oriented concept. So from Java perspective, yes, they will ask you object-oriented, all the object-oriented concepts, and you should be able to answer that with a real-time example. And please, like everybody, don't tell the same example. Like I know you all will do a group study and you'll tell, okay, this real-time example I searched in Google, and then it's good to tell all that. But yes, if you all are going to the same panelist, right? It is just an under the table thing I'm telling. If you all are going to the same panelist, what he will think? He will think, okay, first person has answered this. He has gone out and told the same person, and same thing answer is coming from the next person. So you should actually understand what is the real time example of each and every use concept, and then you should be able to answer it. So please make sure that you're knowing all the OOP concepts. And also for the technical round, I would say people will give you questions, and then you will need to answer the question using your pen and paper. Like it will be like they'll give you a string program or array program that see how the question level will go is easy to medium to expert. That's how they'll give you the questions. Okay, let us assume the first question they are giving you is string, and somehow you are able to answer that string. They'll ask you logic. That is more important. It's not about whether you have written the for loop correct or if you have given the brackets correct. It's not about that. They will expect the logical thinking from you. Like they'll ask you a question. Say reverse a string. I'm just telling it for an example. Reverse a string, and you're writing the program, and then at the end, what they'll tell, what have you done in this? Can you please explain? So that time you need not explain this is variable declaration, this is for loop. Inside the for loop, I have a variable assignment. All these things you need not tell. You have to tell what logic you have implemented. So that thing is more important. You can even tell, say the string is odd number. I've taken the mid of the string and then I've just compared the both the sides and then I've reversed it. So these kind of Logical explanation is what technical interviewers expect. So please make sure that whatever you learn, you will first know the logic of that program. So explain the logic to somebody, or you keep on telling the logic to yourself. It's not just about knowing the right place where the for loop is to be inserted or where the while loop is to be inserted. It's not about that. They should know that you are able to think logically very well. So that is the most important thing. So if somebody, or I would say even if your professor tomorrow gives you some program, you please explain the logic to the professor more than the program. It's not about program accuracy. So tomorrow if someone gives you any question, you first thing you're going to think is the what is the logic, so that I can implement this answer. It should be a pen and paper logic. Don't ever think about program. Like don't ever think about the programming construct. First thing you should think is the pen and paper logic. Okay, I can do this, so that if I compare this, then I can do this. So this is how it should be. Later on, that pen and paper logic, it should be converted to a program. Like okay, I can use this construct, Java construct, to implement this particular thing. So then it comes to the Java program. So as soon as the technical interviewer gives you the question, please don't start like import or a variable declaration. All these things you don't start. First think about your logic, and then go and touch the program part. Everything will be pen and paper only, but yes, logical thinking is more important. And yeah, other things they ask in the technical interviews about databases. So they're going to ask you all the SQL, Oracle, all these queries. So that we can discuss actually at the later section. Like we can discuss like sometime later. And then yeah, data structures and algorithm. As I said, they're going to ask you scenario-based questions on, like say six people are standing in a queue, something like this. If it starts right, you should start thinking that okay, some data structure only he's relating to. Like some person is traveling from India to Australia, and then he came back to Melbourne, and then he came back to some Georgia, something like this. The question will be, so immediately you should think what data structure it is. So that is a basic expectation from the technical interviewer. So even if you don't write the program correct, it is fine. If your logical explanation is right, they'll let you. So to tell my experience, right, I had technical interview in Subex. I had two technical rounds in Subex. Both the rounds I had networking related questions. So that was from that's the networking telecom company. So I had Java questions, DS questions, as well as networking questions. So I had each round five questions the interviewer had asked. So I would say the question level will go from easy to medium to expert. So if you are able to answer first four questions, and if you are not able to answer the fifth question, right, then don't get rejected. Fifth question will be tougher than first question. That thing you need to understand. And the recruiter has already like rated you. Okay, he is able to do this much level of complexity. That kind of rating he has already done. So you need not worry about that you didn't answer the fifth question. You can like proceed further. Like for whatever he asked, you can reply back. Like you don't have to worry that you couldn't answer and then start trembling there. So it's totally fine. If you're able to answer some level of like complexity, then it's totally fine. And please feel free to talk to the technical interviewer. Like not so free, I would say. Like you should have that what to say, body language, that it should be maintained. Your body language should be maintained. It should be little disciplined. And I know you guys already know all these things, but I'm just telling. So like, please don't ask too many questions to the recruiter, so that they will think like it is overreactive. But yes, you can ask all the eligible questions to the recruiter. Um, yeah, we can discuss further on these technical interview part in the later section. So yeah, next, ma'am, can you go to the next slide? Next will be the HR interview. So once you've cleared all your technical interviews, the HR of the company will be interviewing at the end. So it is about HR will ask you first thing, even technical interviewers, they will ask you about yourself. So when they ask you about yourself, you need not like write in a paper and then mug up and tell the same thing. You please please at least react natural there, because like they know that uh, what to say. They will know if, that you've already prepared for this question and you're answering. So when they ask you to tell about yourself, then first tell like what you're doing currently. That you're currently in you are doing final year in the Krishna College, and you are from this place. And then you should be more. The information should be more about your technical knowledge, that you have done projects in this domain, and you have implemented this, and you have got this recognition for this project. All these things you have to tell, and at the end you can maybe add your hobby related thing. So when they tell me about yourself, it is not about your history. First of all, it's about your technical history. So they expect you to be more technical in that. So when you tell about yourself, but please don't start like I'm a final year student who's currently doing a job. Don't start like you're doing a Java project or something. You please tell about yourself, some 2 or 3 lines, and then go technical. And at the end, you can tell about how. So this would be the at least some apt answer for tell about yourself. And next would be like HR will ask you about relocation and all, like some kind of question they'll ask, like we have all the branches. Say some company A has branches everywhere in Coimbatore, Chennai, everywhere, Hyderabad or Bangalore or everywhere. If it has, they'll ask you. Say Pune also it has, assume. So they'll ask you whether are you ready to relocate to Pune, something and all. They will ask. So I think it's better to tell yes at first place, because first of all you should get a offer, right, and then we can decide whether to reject the offer or not. You guys understood, right? Like first we should get a offer, then we will get to know. I'll tell you. Accenture hired a few people from my batch, and only very few joined. Others rejected the Accenture offer because they already had some other offer. So when whomever selected, right, people got locations in different places. Like they got in Chennai, you got in Bangalore. So whomever got Bangalore, right, they asked preference if it is possible to give to Chennai. All these things they did. But whomever didn't like the preference, right, they already had another offer. Say Infosys offer they had. So Infosys was like fine type for them. So they chose Infosys than Accenture. So these things will happen at the end when you get the offer. But first thing is to get the offer, right? So you can tell relocation is fine, but not to a very remote location. I would say, like they won't tell you, are you ready to move to somewhere in this village in this state and all. They will not ask. So I'm sure it will be Chennai, Hyderabad, or Bangalore or Pune maximum. So it will be in these 4 locations only. So yes, are you willing to relocate it there? Yes, I'm fine. You tell this one, because in what perspective they ask is, you are in Coimbatore now. Are you ready to come to Chennai? In this perspective only they are asking. Relocation means not something big. So yeah, you can answer that. And then at the end, and yes, they will ask you some puzzle kind of. There are chances that they will ask you puzzle kind of questions. Not technical puzzle. I would say it's a basic puzzle. So I actually for the Pioda last HR interview round, uh, they did not ask me much questions, but I remember one of my friend who is from SKCET. For her, they had asked a puzzle in the HR interview round. It was not about technical. It was in I think the HR is more interested in Tamil language, so he had asked some question related to Tamil. So there are chances that HR will ask these kind of questions. So uh, it is just a personal thing, and it is not to judge you. It is just to know like whether you are able to answer or not. So don't worry that time and don't get trembled that time. And then at the end they are going to ask you, do you have any questions for us? This question you can expect in the technical interview also. So if they ask you, do you have any questions for that, have a basic question like what your company is doing, which technology your company is using, and what kind of product your technology is, your company is like selling outside. So these kind of questions, basic questions, you can ask the interviewer to understand what the company is actually doing. So I would say when Subex came for interview, Subex is a telecom company. So whatever other companies came, it is like e-commerce. Amazon is a e-commerce company. So we all know what Amazon does, but we don't know what Subex is. But not everybody knows Subex, right? So because those who are in telecom field will know about Subex. So I asked this question like what is their business and what they are doing. Like in which domain they are. All these things we got to know. Then in the technical interview, we got to know that it's a telecom company. So you can ask a very basic question about what they do. So yeah, you can even be prepared for these kind of questions beforehand only. And also like when the company comes, do some research about the company, like what they are doing, and you can even mention this in the interview, one-to-one interview. That I understood this from your website that you are doing this kind of business. Like what technology you're using in this particular thing, and all you can ask that. So kind of research means what I expect is like you should know what the company is doing, not like when the company started, who was the CEO. All these things are not needed. Just know what Bosch does, what Amazon does. So these things you should know when the company comes actually. Whichever company you're going to attend, please do this thing. So yeah, the HR interview will be a final round. After that, they will talk about the compensation and all these details, and then yes, it will come through the college, like if you have got selected or not. These details it will come. So, ma'am, can we go to the next slide? Hello.
It is visible, no?
Yes, yes, ma'am. It is visible. Can you go to the next slide?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, whatever I spoke now is about the next slide only, the HR interview slide.
Yeah, actually, I was presenting. Just.
Yeah, yeah. I think it is stuck. You guys are able to see the HR interview slide, or which slide is visible for you all?
Java
I'm still
concepts.
technical interviews there.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
Java concepts I have presented, right? Is it
Uh,
visible?
no, no. Now it is not visible. I think, ma'am. I think you have to read.
Is it visible now?
Yes. So yeah. Now, any questions so far? Like, if any of you have any questions, you can ask. Like before we discuss in detail about the technical interview. Okay, I assume there are no questions. So next is like Java concepts. I would say what Java concepts you will need to concentrate, so that these are all mandatory for you to attend, to know about all this before you attend the technical interview. Okay. First is like as I said already, it is the OOPS concepts with the real-time examples you should know. And the next is like you will already know the basic Java concepts like the loop, while loop, for loop, all these things, and the data types related things. These are the basic constructs of Java. So at least to know, at least you should know to write the syntax properly for all these basic things, because you cannot do a mistake for a basic thing, right? And that will create a bad impression. So make sure that you know the syntax for all these things. And then yeah, string handling is a must. Why I mentioned string handling is like the string question will come from coding round, online coding round, till the technical string round. You say, let us assume you have 3 rounds of technical, then till the third round you will get string related questions. So it is more important to cover string handling topic. And then collection framework in Java, yeah, you should know about all the collections present in the Java and their basic programs you should try. And next is generics, exception handling, file handling, and multi-threading. So I don't know. I think these topics will be covered in your syllabus, but it's not just about knowing the definition for all these things. You should have hands-on experience in all these things. Like I would say, you guys can do mini projects on all these topics. Like say, yeah, let us say uh, we do a parking management system or um, some say theater management system, your cinema theater management system. So how will you implement in Java? These things you should be knowing. Like say I like you can start with the basic coding, and then you can start enhancing the code with more collections and generics and all these things. Like instead of this array, I will use this list. So these things should come in your mind. So I think you can do such mini projects, so, which will not consume more time, I would say. So you can do this so that you get some hands-on on this topic. Tomorrow, if someone questions in this topic also, you'll be able to answer it properly. So yeah. So yeah, can anyone tell me first, like how do you? I'm just asking for a just for some fresh up, like just to fresh you all guys. Say, how will you implement a theater management system in Java? Like just tell me the basic logical flow. Like if anyone is interested, they can answer. I mean, not through message. They can unmute and then they can speak. I mean, it is not to judge you or anything. Multi-dimensional arrays, rows, what he is answering. Okay. Kavya, can you please explain like what you're trying to tell, so that others will also know your
Ma'am,
idea
can
and
I
they will get
say
some
it in
idea.
Tamil?
Sorry?
Can I say it in Tamil?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. சொல்லுங்க தமிழ்லே சொல்லுங்க.
மேம் மேம் சீட் அலோகேஷன் இருக்குல்ல மேம்
எல்லாம்
ரோஸ் அண்ட் காலம்
கூப்பிடாதீங்க.
யூஸ் பண்ணலாம்.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் மேம் கூப்பிடாதீங்க. ஸோ நான் உங்க சீனியர் தான். ஸோ மேம் எல்லாம் வேண்டாம். மைத்லி மேம் மட்டும் மேம்னு கூப்பிடுங்க.
மேம் அந்த சீட் அலோகேஷன் இருக்குல்ல மேம், ஸோ எனக்கு 44 சீட் வேணும்னா லைக் நான் ரோஸ் அண்ட் காலம்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். அப்போ அரேஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம், அரேஸ் கான்ஸ்.
ஓகே,
ஸோ அது
ஓகே. ஸோ
சின்ன
அதுல
ஐடியா.
ஓகே, ஃபைன். ஓகே, ஸோ அதுல நீங்க என்ன என்ன மாதிரி சினாரியோஸ்லாம் இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்றதுக்கு பாசிபிள்? லைக் உங்களுக்கு புரியுதுங்களா? ஸோ தியேட்டர் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்னா என்னென்ன சினாரியோஸ் எல்லாம் பாசிபிள்?
புக்கிங் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் மேம், லைக்
கரெக்ட்.
இஃப் இட் இஸ் புக்,
ஓகே, ஓகே.
நாட் புக்.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் புக் பண்ணணும். அது ஒரு ஸ்டேட், அது ஒரு சினாரியோ. அப்புறம் புக்கிங் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் பார்க்கறது ஒரு சினாரியோ. அப்புறம் கேன்சலேஷன் ஒரு சினாரியோ. கரெக்ட்டுங்களா?
எஸ் மேம்.
ஓகே, ஓகே. So okay, actually it's good, career that you tried this much. இது என்னன்னா இந்த மாதிரி சடனா ஒரு கொஸ்டின் கேட்பாங்க இன்டர்வியூல. ஸோ இந்த சிஸ்டம் நான் இந்த கொஸ்டின் எது கேட்டேன்னா, ஆக்செஞ்சர் இன்டர்வியூல எங்க பேட்ச்ல எனக்கு கேட்டாங்க, பாஸ்போர்ட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் சிஸ்டம் ஹவ் வில் யூ இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட். ஸோ சம்திங் தே வில் ஆஸ்க் யூ, சம் ரேண்டம் கொஸ்டின் தே வில் ஆஸ்க் யூ. ஸோ யூ ஷுட் பி ப்ரிப்பேர்ட் ஃபார் ஆல் தீஸ் திங்ஸ். அது எப்படி ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணணும்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அதுல என்னென்ன சினாரியோஸ் பாசிபிள் நம்ம பார்க்கணும். புரியுதா? ஹலோ?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you should be aware that what all scenarios you can cover first, from for whatever question they ask, and then you can think about the answer that okay, I can implement this scenario in this way. I'm sure that they're going to ask such kind of questions only, so please be prepared for all these things. So if someone asks you suddenly, how will you how will you implement a theater management system? Then yes, now that he was able to answer something, right? So like that, you guys should be ready with some kind of answer, and which is not irrelevant. So yes, it's actually good that we can implement theater management system with array, and to enhance the code, we can use collection framework also. So I don't expect collection framework as first answer. I expected array only as first answer. ஸோ அது வந்து ஒரு பேசிக்கான விஷயம். ஸோ இது பண்ணலாம், இதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம இந்த மாதிரி கூட என்ஹான்ஸ் பண்ணலாம்னு நீங்க சொன்னீங்கன்னா, இட் வில் கிரியேட் அ குட் இம்ப்ரெஷன் டு த ரெக்ரூட்டர். ஸோ லைக் இந்த மாதிரி தான் இருக்குங்க டெக்னிக்கல் இன்டர்வியூ. சடனாக ஏதோ ஒரு கொஸ்டின் கேட்பாங்க, அண்ட் யூ மே நாட் பி லைக் ஐ எம் நாட் டெல்லிங் யூ கைஸ் ஆர் நாட் ஆன்சரிங், பட் யூ நீட் சம் டைம் டு திங்க், ரைட்? அதுக்கு வந்துட்டு யூ ஷுட் பி ஆல்ரெடி அவேர் ஆஃப் சச் சிமிலர் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் சினாரியோ, ஸோ தட் அங்கே உங்களுக்கு திங்கிங் ஈஸியாக இருக்கும். So this is a basic thing I am expecting from you all guys before you step into a interview. You guys understood, right? Hello? Hello? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so one more thing I want to tell. From my personal experience, I got more and more questions on file handling. So even when I was a fresher, when I'm a 3-year experience, when I wanted to shift my company, even that time I got questions on file handling. ஸோ ஹவு டு யூ ரீட் ரைட் அ ஃபைல், ஹவு டு யூ அப்டேட் அ ஃபைல், இதெல்லாம் வந்து பேசிக் திங்ஸ் தட் யூ ஷுட் ஆக்சுவலி நோ. ஐ எம் நாட் ஜஸ்ட் டெல்லிங் அபவுட் ஜாவா. சின்ஸ் ஐ வாஸ் அ ஜாவா டெவலப்பர், ஐ ஆடட் அ ஸ்லைட் கால் ஜாவா கான்செப்ட். பட் உங்களுக்கு பைத்தான்ல தெரிஞ்சாலும் இட்ஸ் வெல் அண்ட் குட். பட் விச்எவர் லாங்குவேஜ், விச்எவர் ஹை லெவல் லாங்குவேஜ் யூ கோயிங் டு சூஸ், please make sure that you're knowing file handling properly, because everything in IT industry revolves around data. Everything is like data will be in TBs, more than TBs. So file handling is a must. ஸோ அது வந்து ஒரு பேசிக் விஷயமா தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. எப்படி ரைட் பண்ணுறதோ, எப்படி அப்டேட் பண்ணுவாங்க, அண்ட் தென் ஹவு டு யூ delete a file. All these things you should know in whichever language you know. And next is multi-threading, the most important topic. I would say don't ever skip this topic, because you cannot write a like a one single threaded flow. I would say நம்ம எழுதுற program எல்லாமே single threaded flow தான். So you cannot write a single threaded flow for such a big product implementation. Company will have such a big product. So அதுக்கு வந்துட்டு you cannot write a single thread. There will be multi threads running, there will be multi processes running. So for that reason, everybody should know what is multi-threading. த்ரெட் எப்படி கிரியேட் பண்ணுவாங்க, எப்படி டெலீட் பண்ணுவாங்க, த்ரெட்டோட லைஃப் சைக்கிள் என்னென்ன, பேசிக்கா ஒரு த்ரெட்டிங் ப்ரோக்ராம் எப்படி இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்றது. அண்ட் தென் லெட் அஸ் சே யூ ஆர் ரைட்டிங் அ ப்ரோக்ராம் டு சம் டூ நம்பர்ஸ். டுமாரோ ஹவு டு யூ இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் தட் யூசிங் த்ரெட்? ஒரு பேசிக் ப்ரோக்ராமை கூட எப்படி த்ரெட்ல போடுறதுன்னு கேட்பாங்க. அப்போ யூ cannot டெல் தட் யூ டோன்ட் நோ த்ரெட்டிங். ஸோ அட்லீஸ்ட் பேசிக் இம்ப்ளிமெண்டேஷன் ப்ளீஸ் லேர்ன். Threading is most important topic in the IT industry. I would say it is like mainly used in all the IT companies. 95% of the IT companies are using multi-threading. So please learn the threading topic, multi-threading topic. And yes, as I said, நீங்க ஏதாவது mini project பண்ணணும்னா you can use this multi-threading also as a topic and try some mini project in that. Say, I would say, for example, some two, three people are trying to update a file at a time. இப்போ எக்ஸல்ல வந்து நீங்க எடிட் பண்றீங்க இல்லையா, ஆன்லைன் எக்ஸல்லாம். ஸோ ஆல் தோஸ் ஆர் மல்டி த்ரெடட் திங்ஸ் ஒன்லி. ஸோ அதெல்லாம் எப்படி இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க? பீப்புள் வில் நீட் மல்டிபிள் த்ரெட்ஸ் அண்ட் மல்டிபிள் ப்ராசஸஸ். ஸோ அதனால தான் வி ஆல் ஆர் ஏபிள் டு எடிட் அ சிங்கிள் ஆன்லைன் ஷீட் அட் அ டைம். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி சின்ன சின்ன ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் யூ கேன் டூ இன் மல்டி த்ரெடிங். ஸோ யா, please make sure that you cover all these topics and you know what these topics are. Don't tell the recruiter that you don't know about multi-threading, you don't know about file handling, you don't know about density. Please don't tell. At least know some basic things. Naliki, and also the recruiter will not straight away ask you a question. They'll tell, do you know about file handling in Java? Have you heard about it? Like this, they will ask you. So that time, please don't tell no. That time, at least tell, even if it is a last minute preparation also, please tell you know the basic concept. And in advanced Java, you should know JDBC. JDBC is a must. You guys are learning database management as one paper, right? So how do you connect the database with the Java? That is the most important topic in all the companies. Now that there are so advancements to JDBC, now people don't use JDBC, people use Hibernate, Spring Boot, and all people are using. But if you know all these things, it's good, well and good. Like if you know Hibernate, Spring or Spring Boot, it's well and good. But if you don't know Hibernate, Spring or Spring Boot, all these connectivity, ORM related things, then I would say you should know JDBC. So நாளைக்கு வந்துட்டு how do you fetch, say you have a customer a table which has some 10 records. How do you fetch first 5 records from the customer table using Java program? It's a very simple question. So அப்போ வந்துட்டு you have to use JDBC. So you should know the constructs of JDBC. How do you create a connection? How do you save a session? How do you close a connection? இது எல்லாமே தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும் JDBC ல. So please Google JDBC basic questions and try out with your database and with your Java IDE, whatever you are using, Eclipse or anything which you use. So please install a JDBC driver in that. It will be already installed, but if not, please install it and then try to do programs which will connect your database and the Java or whichever programming languages you are using again. So please do try that. Since it's a Java concept, I mentioned JDBC. Yes, if you're using some other programming language, please use the tool which will connect your language and the DB. And yeah, servlets and JSPs are fine. Why I mentioned is I was asked these questions in Subek's interview, so I mentioned it. But yes, it's totally optional. Some telecom companies or some networking kind of companies, they are asking these questions. But yes, it's totally rare. But it's good to know. That's why I mentioned this also. So servlet and JSP. So next is connectivity. Yeah, as I said, Hibernate or Spring. If you know, it's fine, but if you don't know, right? Also, one thing, if you know Hibernate, then they expect you to know JDBC. So JDBC is a must that you know. So people will tell, உங்களுக்கு Hibernate தெரிஞ்சிருக்கு, JDBC தெரியலைங்களா? They will ask you this. So yeah. Again, I am coming to the slide one. Whatever you write in your resume is your question paper. So உங்களுக்கு தெரியாத எந்த விஷயமும் ரெஸ்யூம்ல எழுதாதீங்க. அதே மாதிரி தெரிஞ்ச விஷயம் எல்லாத்தையும் எழுதுங்க. தெரிஞ்ச விஷயம் ரொம்ப கம்மியா இருக்கக்கூடாது. தட் இஸ் த மெயின் எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன். And next is like web services, SOAP or REST service. So in why we need REST or SOAP services? All the products, I would say 99% products in IT field works with API request only. So it's totally abstract programming interfaces and which uses REST and SOAP API. ஸோ இதுக்கு வந்து நீங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் ஒரு say let us take you are taking a REST API, you should first understand what is a REST API, why they are using it, how it is useful. So these things you should know, and after knowing these things you can Google also. Googleல நிறைய programs இருக்கு, so that you can do. You can Google like how do you implement a REST program using Java or yeah, any language that you use. you can do. இப்போ tools இருக்குங்க, like postman, you have a tool called postman, which will help you execute a REST API and then it will give you a response. REST API is basically request and response API. நீங்க ஒரு சர்வருக்கு ரிக்வெஸ்ட் அனுப்புறீங்க, அது உங்களுக்கு ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் அனுப்புது. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் த ரெஸ்ட் API. ஸோ அந்த சர்வருக்கு ரிக்வெஸ்ட் அனுப்புறீங்கன்னா, say how do you send a request? You send the request using Java and then get the response from Java. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி பேசிக் இம்ப்ளிமெண்டேஷன். ஆர் போஸ்ட்மேன்ல எப்படி இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்றது, போஸ்ட்மேன் ஒரு டூல் இருக்கு. ஸோ அதுல எப்படி, ஆர் சோப் யூஐன்னு ஒரு டூல் இருக்கு. ஸோ இதுலலாம் எப்படி அவங்க ரெஸ்ட் API இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்றாங்க, யூ கேன் வாட்ச் யூடியூப் வீடியோஸ் ஆல்சோ. இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பேசிக் நாலேஜ் மட்டும் தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. இது வந்து ரொம்ப ஸ்கில்டா இருக்கணுங்கிற அவசியம் இல்லை. But you should know what it is, because these are the things which IT companies revolving around. So they expect the fresher to have heard about the topic at least. நாளைக்கு போய் ரெஸ்ட் ஐ டோன்ட் நோ அப்படின்னு சொல்லாதீங்க. நாங்க வந்து ஹை லெவல்ல ரெஸ்ட் நீங்க சொல்லலாம், நாங்க சிலபஸ்ல வந்து நாங்க ஹை லெவல்ல படிக்கல, பட் அட்லீஸ்ட் வி ஹாவ் அ பேசிக் நாலேஜ் ஃப்ரம் ஃப்ரம் ஆர் செமினார்ஸ், அந்த மாதிரிலாம் ஏதாவது சொல்லலாம். நீங்க செமினாரே அட்டென்ட் பண்ணலனாலும் பரவாயில்ல, யூ கேன் டெல் தட் யூ காட் டு நோ த்ரூ அ ஒர்க் ஷாப் தட் திஸ் how our REST API works, so that you are informing the recruiter that you didn't learn anything about REST, but you have some little knowledge about the REST. You are not extensively good in REST like any programming language. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் வந்து தெரியாது அப்படிங்கிற ஆன்சர் கொடுக்காதீங்க. நாட் எவ்ரி ரெக்ரூட்டர் வில் ஆஸ்க் திஸ் கொஸ்டின், ஐ அஷ்யூர் யூ. லைக் உங்களுக்கு வர பேனல், ஸோ நமக்கு அன்னைக்கு எப்படி இருக்கு நமக்கு தெரியாது. ஸோ உங்களுக்கு வர பேனல், இஃப் தே ஆர் கோயிங் டு ஆஸ்க் யூ சம் கொஸ்டின் அபவுட் ரெஸ்ட், தே வில் நாட் ஆஸ்க் யூ டு யுவர் ஃப்ரெண்ட், பட் தேர் ஆர் சான்சஸ் தட் தே வில் ஆஸ்க் டு யூ. ஸோ இஃப் தே ஆஸ்க் டு யூ, தென் you should be prepared at least to tell them that you've heard about this topic. ஸோ அதனால இந்த ரெஸ்ட் சோப் ஏபிஐஸ் இதெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. ஸோ இஃப் யூ ஹாவ் எனி டவுட் இன் ஜாவா, யூ கேன் ஆஸ்க் மீ, ஆர் அதர்வைஸ் ஐ வில் மூவ் டு த நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லைட். Any questions, like what you have to learn in Java or anything? Okay, fine. Okay. Then I'll go to the next topic, DS and algos. Yes, so you should know all the basic implementations of all the data structures. Basically, graph இப்படி தான் implement பண்ணுவாங்க, tree இப்படி தான் இருக்கும். So these things you should know in whichever high level language you are going to select. And then you should know why, see, there are so many types of maps. So what is the difference between one map and another? Why they have introduced this map when you already have this map? நிறைய மேப்ஸ் இருக்கு, லைக் சிங்க்ரோனைஸ்ட் மேப்ஸ் எல்லாம் த்ரெடிங்ல எல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ தீஸ் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் யூ ஷுட் நோ. These are like very basic information, but you cannot tell like I know maps, I know hash map, I know tree map. You cannot tell that you know how to implement, but you know, but you don't know what is the purpose of that. You cannot tell like that. Whatever you learn, know the purpose and then you learn. ஸோ இந்த ட்ரீ மேப்னா அது எதுக்கு கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க, ஹேஷ் மேப்னா எதுக்கு கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க, அதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்க அதோட இம்ப்ளிமெண்டேஷன் சொன்னீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு ஓகே சாட்டிஸ்ஃபை ஆவாங்க. பட் நீங்க ஹேஷ் மேப்ல பெரிய ப்ரோக்ராம் போட்டுட்டு தென் தே ஆஸ்க் யூ அ சிம்பிள் கொஸ்டின். ஸோ வாட் இஸ் த டிஃபரன்ஸ் பிட்வீன் ஹேஷ் மேப் அண்ட் ட்ரீ மேப், வை தே ஹவ் brought in the tree map suddenly? அப்போ தெரியாதுன்னு யூ cannot tell. Whatever you have written is based only. They will not have a good impression actually. ஸோ உங்களுக்கு அந்த விஷயம்லாம் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். இதெல்லாம் பேசிக் டிஃப்ரென்சஸ்ன்னு நீங்க கூகுள் பண்ணாலே தெரியும். லைக் பேசிக் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் ஆன் டேட்டா ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்ஸ் சொன்னாலே இட் இஸ் கோயிங் டு கிவ் யூ லைக் வாட் இஸ் த டிஃபரன்ஸ் பிட்வீன் தீஸ் டூ, வை, வாட் இஸ் த ஹையர் வெர்ஷன் ஆஃப் திஸ் மேப், ஆல் தீஸ் திங். ஐம் நாட் ஜஸ்ட் டெல்லிங் அபவுட் மேப், பட் ஆல்சோ லைக் அதர் டேட்டா ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்ஸ் ஆல்சோ. ஏன் கிராஃப் வந்துச்சு, ஏன் ட்ரீ வந்துச்சு, now graph and tree where they are using, and please know the real time examples of all these data structures. And yeah, as I said, you have to solve the practical problems also. ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் கொடுத்தா அதுல இந்த டேட்டா ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் தான் அவங்க மீன் பண்றாங்கங்கிற விஷயம் உங்களுக்கு ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணவாது தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். ஈவன் இஃப் யூ ஆர் நாட் ஏபிள் டு கம்ப்ளீட் த ப்ரோக்ராம் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லி, அட்லீஸ்ட் கொஸ்டினை பார்த்தா ஓகே திஸ் பிலாங்ஸ் டு திஸ் டேட்டா ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் அப்படிங்கறதாவது ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ண தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். ஸோ ஃபார் தேட் ரீசன் ப்ளீஸ் நோ த பேசிக் திங்ஸ். Yeah, and yeah, you can move to the next slide, ma'am. So the last one will be about DBMS. டிபிஎம்எஸ்ல வந்துட்டு yes, apart from the technical questions, there are other questions also, like என்ன difference இருக்கும் for Oracle, Postgres, what is the difference, and like yeah, how do you use a database in the real world, அதுக்கப்புறம் like what is the difference in the query, Oracleல joins எப்படி இருக்கும், Postgresல joins எப்படி இருக்கும், SQL serverல எப்படி இருக்கும். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி சின்ன சின்ன questions எல்லாம் கேட்க சான்சஸ் இருக்கு. So whichever database you mention in your resume, make sure that you know about that database properly. Joins definitely கேட்பாங்க. DBMS related questions, I can tell you for sure that they will ask you join questions. They will ask you this dense rank and rank related questions. So what is dense rank and rank? How you can use is that, say you have 10 salaries from 1000 rupees to 100 rupees. What is the second highest salary? So I think I've given you a reference link also. It is just an example. Second highest salary is 900. So how do you query that in the database? Uh, so இது வந்து you do it without dense rank also. You can do it using the dense rank also. So rank-க்கும் dense rank-க்கும் என்ன difference? அதை எப்படி sequence பண்ணும்? So these are like basic things that you should know. DBMS னு எடுத்தா you should be a master in joins. Like என்ன table கொடுத்தாலும் you should be able to know how to join the table. And then yeah, and I'm telling you, DBMS questions sometimes they was in coding round also, first round also. First roundல Amazonல எங்க batchக்கு last two questions was about DBMS. Some query தான் எழுத சொல்லியிருந்தாங்க. It was simple only, something related to joins. I don't remember the question though, but they will ask you. So as much as importance they're giving to DBMS, so please query and see in your SQL developer or whatever you're using. உங்க டூல்ஸ்ல வந்துட்டு you please try to query and see the result. It's not just about reading from Google how to do. அதை எக்ஸிக்யூட் பண்ணி பாருங்க, whether the join work ஆகுதா இல்லையா, left join எப்படி ஆகுது, right join எப்படி ஆகுது, இது எல்லாமே you should be able to. So this is about DBMS. So these are like whatever I discussed so far is like very basic concepts which are required for any placement, not just product, service, or any company. This, even if you go out and search for an internship also, I would say இதெல்லாம் வந்து ரொம்ப basic concepts which people expect from a fresher, because now the market has come to that level. So I would say last year the recruitment thing was less only in Coimbatore areas, because right, there was pandemic and people couldn't come to the colleges and then recruit people. So that time what they did, they started recruiting in their own cities. So Bangalore தான் most of the companies are there. So they started recruiting from Bangalore colleges only. So Bangalore the rate of recruitment has increased. So இந்த மாதிரிலாம் situations turn ஆகுது. So in this point also, we should be thankful that we are getting some companies. So under company choices, like please make sure that you're using it to your best. Because இப்போ நாளைக்கு ஏதோ ஒரு சென்னையில ஏதோ ஒரு ஸ்டார்ட் அப் கம்பெனியும் வருது, say ஜோஹோவும் வருது. Don't think that you don't want that startup and you're aiming for Zoho. You should give equal importance for both. Because say இப்போ 10 companies வருதுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, பட் சே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 5 கம்பெனிஸ்ல ஒரு 10 people தான் பிளேஸ் ஆயிருக்காங்க. So you are already 100 people. Let us assume you are already 100 people, 90 people have to get placed. So college is not going to increase the number of companies at that point. So baaki 5 companies, these 90 people should get placed. They won't think that okay, namku innu 90 people varala. College will definitely try. Like they will try calling till you leave the college. They will try calling the companies for you. But on the 10 companies, in the 100 பேர் எப்படி accommodate ஆக அந்த opportunity நீங்க தான் create பண்ணி. So I would say also all the decent product companies only which are coming to our college. So you can make the best use of it. And then உங்களுக்கு பிடிக்குதோ at least you can go inside the industry, and then you will get to know what the industry is. Then within 6 months you have the more opportunity to shift the company also. Say ஒரு ஸ்டார்ட் அப் கம்பெனி தான் கிடைச்சது, அமேசான் கிடைக்கல, let us assume that. So you're going to a startup company and then say you are learning like anything, you're preparing like anything. Within 6 months, definitely you can go to Amazon, because always companies have openings for experienced people, like 1 or 2 years experience or 3 or 5 years experience. So companies do have openings. ஃப்ரெஷரா இருக்கும்போது என்ன கம்பெனி கிடைக்குதோ தட் டிசைட்ஸ் யுவர் லைஃப். ஸோ ஃப்ரெஷரா இருக்கும்போது ப்ளீஸ் மேக் ஷுர் தட் யூ கெட் அ ஜாப், because இப்போ not all the companies are recruiting freshers. Very few companies are only recruiting the freshers, because of pandemic they have changed this way. Like you cannot blame the college, blame yourself, or blame anybody. Because of the pandemic, they have changed the pattern that they don't want freshers because they cannot physically provide attention to the fresher. So they expect 1 or 2 years experience maximum. So உங்களுக்கு அந்த எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் கிடைக்கணும்னா காலேஜ்ல இருந்து யூ கைஸ் ஹேவ் டு கெட் பிளேஸ் அண்ட் தென் கோ அவுட். ஸோ இதுக்கு ட்ரை பண்ணுங்க. ஐ ஹர்ட் தட் பை டிசம்பர் அண்ட் ஜான் both the months you're getting companies. So after one company you will understand like what pattern they are going to ask and all. But don't waste that opportunity for the later companies also. Like ஒரு கம்பெனில தெரிஞ்சது இந்த மாதிரி இருந்தது, then please try to implement that in the next company. Don't think that okay next company பார்க்கலாம் எப்படி கேக்குறாங்க then we can analyze. Don't do that. You may not know the third company will come or not, you may not know. ஏன்னா இப்போ the situation is like that. No one can guarantee you that the company will come and recruit, right? So இது வந்து நான் what I am not making you scare or something, but this is the reality. See, despite all these things, if the college is bringing you the company, then please make the best use of it, so that even you can be relaxed and later on you will attend with more confidence the next coming company. So எங்க பேட்ச்ல அப்படிதாங்க நடந்துச்சு. It is like we got placed in one company, the next company we got so much confidence, and yes, we cracked the next company also. But first attend பண்ண ரெண்டு company we didn't have any like what to say, any kind of confidence. We were like low, we were on low confidence. Only when we got the offer we started getting more and more offers. So and at the end it's your choice to choose to go which company you want to go. If you have multiple offers, right, college will give you option which company you wanted to go, then yes, you can choose the company you want. So yes, at least make sure that you have a minimum of one offer, so that you can decide as a fresher where your career go. So any doubts on this so far? Like I've just give a overview. I am not given anything in detail. So next time maybe whenever I find time, I can give you some sessions and questions based on data structures and algorithms kind of. Like I can give you sample questions. Like we can have a workout kind of sessions and all. But yes, this time I just wanted to tell what the interview is all about and what they are expecting. So any doubts or any clarifications for anybody here? Okay. Well, actually I'm not able to open his message. Okay. Will JSP be relevant in 2021? I'm telling you, since so many languages like okay. Okay. Good JS. Yeah, you can talk about JSPs. It's good that you know JSP, because see, even now there are companies which are running under C language and C++ language. They have not shifted to Java. So I can tell you my example only in the company which I worked previously and working currently. Okay. ஸோ நான் ஒர்க் பண்ணுற ரெண்டு கம்பெனி, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சுபெக்ஸ்ல இருந்தேன், இப்போ சிஎஸ்சி இன்டர்நேஷனல் இருக்கேன். ஸோ ரெண்டுமே டெலிகம்யூனிகேஷன் ப்ராடக்ட் கம்பெனி. இட்ஸ் பிஎஸ்எஸ் டொமைன், பிஸ்னஸ் டொமைன், பிஎஸ்எஸ் ஒன். ஸோ இந்த கம்பெனிஸ் என்னன்னா, இந்த டெலிகாம் ப்ராடக்ட் இட்ஸ் ஆல் அபவுட் பில்லிங் அண்ட் ரேட்டிங் ப்ராடக்ட். இப்போ நம்ம டே டு டே ஏர்டெல், வோடஃபோன் அதெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்றோம் இல்லையா? ஸோ தீஸ் டெலிகாம் ஆப்பரேட்டர்ஸ் ஹாவ் ஆர் ப்ராடக்ட், so that they are generating you a monthly bill. There are lot and lot what is it, logics involved in that, but I am just giving you a overview. Let us assume that they are giving you monthly bill. So in the monthly bill உங்களுக்கு monthly வர சார்ஜஸ் இருக்கும், நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ண சார்ஜஸ் இருக்கும், இந்த மாதிரி several charges இருக்கும். So it's a very vast product. vast product na evlo vast na, you have so many Java files, such that each Java file only have some 4,000 5,000 lines of code. So many jars are there, நிறைய jar files இருக்கும், நிறைய Java files இருக்கும். So these things suddenly you cannot change it to a like this you call legacy system. Legacy system na older system. So suddenly இந்த ஜாவால இருக்க கோட் எல்லாத்தையுமே you cannot suddenly convert it to Python. Python is like, yes, has more advantages than Java, but still why ஏன் அவங்க இன்னும் Python போகாம இருக்காங்க? Because first of all company அதுக்கு நிறைய effort spend பண்ணும். Like it's not so easy. Python developers எல்லாம் hire பண்ணும். Developers hire பண்ணா அதெல்லாம் cost to the company. ஒரு டெவலப்பரை வந்து 10 lakh கொடுத்து ஹையர் பண்ணாங்கன்னா it is a cost to the company. ஸோ நிறைய பைத்தான் டெவலப்பர்ஸ் பண்ணணும், அதுக்கு ஒரு R&D பண்ணணும். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரிசர்ச் இஸ் த மெயின் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். எங்கெங்க என்னென்ன சேஞ்ச் பண்ணணும் அதெல்லாம் பார்ப்பாங்க. அண்ட் தென் ஆஃப்டர் தட் தே ஷுட் ஸ்டார்ட் இம்ப்ளிமெண்டிங் இட். அதை இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணால் எவ்வளோ பக்கு எவ்வளோ எரர் வருது அது அவங்களுக்கு தான் தெரியும். ஸோ தே நீட் அட்லீஸ்ட் சம் 5-6 years to do an implementation of this. So under 5-6 years, if they are going to implement this, they cannot serve the customer. Like இப்போ எங்க கம்பெனிக்கு கஸ்டமர் ஏர்டெல், எங்க கம்பெனி கஸ்டமர் வோடஃபோன்னா, they will stop getting offers from the customer because they are doing a R&D on that. இந்த மாதிரி சடனா கம்பெனிக்கு வர ப்ராஃபிட்டை ஸ்டாப் பண்ண முடியாது. ஸோ தேர் ஆர் லெகசி சிஸ்டம்ஸ் தட் ஆர் ஸ்டில் யூசிங் JSP. ஸோ JSP உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொன்னாலே JSPயோட ஹையர் வெர்ஷன்ஸ் வந்துட்டு they will assume that the recruiter will assume that you will easily learn that technology also. ஸோ அந்த அசம்ஷன் அட்லீஸ்ட் நம்ம கொடுக்கணும். அதுக்கு தான் நான் சொன்னேன், இப்போ JDBC உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா ஹைபர்நேட் உங்களுக்கு லேர்ன் பண்றதுக்கு டெஃபினட்டா இந்த பர்சன் லேர்ன் பண்ணிடுவாங்க அப்படிங்கிற கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் வந்து ரெக்ரூட்டர்ஸ்க்கு கொடுக்கணும். ஸோ நாட் எவ்ரி ரெக்ரூட்டர் கேன் டெல் வாட் எக்ஸாக்ட் டெக்னாலஜி தேர் கோயிங் டு யூஸ். பிகாஸ் நீங்க ஒரு டீமுக்கு ஹையர் ஆகலாம், இன்னொரு டீமுக்கு போய் ஹையர் பண்ணும்போது ஒரு டீமோட மேனேஜர் ஹையர் பண்ணியிருப்பாரு, பட் நீங்க இண்டஸ்ட்ரி உள்ள போனப்போ வேற டீமுக்கு கூட போயிருக்கு. ஸோ யூ மே நாட் நோ which team you're going into until you step into the company. So it's good to develop language, develop knowledges in the languages and the other technologies that you already know. Like ரொம்ப எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம் நியூ வெர்ஷன் தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும் அதெல்லாம் இப்போ அந்த ரிஸ்க் எடுக்க வேண்டாம். Because you have a very less time, right? Don't think that you know Angular x.x version, you wanted to know Angular x.y version, which is the latest version. பரவாயில்ல, உங்களுக்கு பேசிக் கான்செப்ட் தெரியுதுல்ல, ப்ளீஸ் டெல் தட் டு த ரெக்ரூட்டர். வாட் எவர் யூ நோ யூ ஸ்ட்ரென்தன் தட். தெரிஞ்சதே போய் சொதப்பிட்டு வர வேண்டாம். தட் இஸ் த ஒன் திங் தட் ஐ வாண்ட் டு டெல். ஸோ எனி அதர் கொஸ்டின்?
Yes, you can unmute yourself and ask any questions. Okay, thank you very much, Swati,
Thank you
for a warm-up session regarding placements. Thank you. Hope the session would be very useful for their placement preparation.
Yeah, I have actually shared the PPT to ma'am, so she will be sharing with the entire class.
Yeah, I'll share it to the students, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, juniors. Yeah, you can also contact me anytime. Yeah. 1 second. Kavya is asking some question. How can we manage in technical interview if they ask the question which I don't know, but the skill I put in my resume? You should not put that skill in your resume if you don't know. That's what I'm trying to tell. If you want to put some skill in your resume, make sure that you know about that skill. Otherwise, definitely they will ask you questions on that. Yeah, I'll share the contact details. Yeah, ma'am, you can give my email ID.
Yeah, sure, Swati.
Yeah, you can give my email ID to the students so that if they have any doubts, they can mail me.
Yeah, sure.
And also, Kavya is telling he knows partially, but I know partially means See, you have, there's nothing called partial. There's something called basic, there's something called intermediate, something called expert. So you should know in which level you are, and then you should tell the recruiter that you are in this level. That is the most important thing. Okay, fine. So any other questions? If not, then let's end the session.
Yeah, thank you, Swati.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you
Mia.
all.
All the best. All the best, everybody.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you all.